You can do a lot better than that.
It's pretty sad when people get old, I'll tell you that.
I see it.
He's going to the speech.
16 minutes, yeah.
I gotta go to the bathroom before we start. Thank you. Members of the Kiwanis Club. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't like you people. You're younger than I am, except for Bobby. He's older than I am. I like that. I can't see with these damn things. All right. I want to talk about my problem. And I have a problem that's gone on for a long, long time. I'm getting old. And when you get old, people are not sensitive and loving to you. Oh, they have all these expectations for you. Well, you should do this. Do you still have problems going to the bathroom? Yeah, these are things I hear all the time. Well, I'm sick and tired of it. I've decided that I would take a stand against that. First of all, as you get older, a lot of things change. First of all, it's my sight. I don't always see as good as I used to see. The problem is, when I'm watching TV now, it's only little, and I can't read the closed captioning, and it creates so much stress in my life that I'm always asking my wife, what did they say? Wow, she gets irritated. And then, to be honest with you, I do have hearing problems. That's why you see these things hanging in my ear. Right, Bobby? Oh, the problem is they don't always work as good as they should. Because if I'm in a loud environment, I tend to look at you and shake my head and smile and pretend like I understand what you're saying. I don't understand the slightest thing you're saying. The problem with that is that when I'm shaking my head, sometimes somebody will tell me something serious, like their dog died. Then I smile. Or some family member died, and I'm smiling. And then once I realize that, and then I make up some lame excuse. Well, there's other problems too. As you grow older, your hair color changes, or in some cases, your hair falls out. Well, you know, there are ways you can cope with it. You can have hair transplants if you got $20–30 million. Well, I couldn't afford that. I decided I'd have my hair dyed because I figured black hair now would really look nice, very sharp. I go to my barber and I mentioned that to him, and he looks at me, and he was entirely sincere. He says, "There's not enough hair dye in Las Vegas to dye your hair." Well, this is something I like to brag about. There was a time when I joined Toastmasters, I could drink anybody under the table here. And it was, you know, I could have, you know, a case of beer, you know, a bottle of this or a bottle of, you know, a bottle of Jack. I was so proud of myself, I could drink. Now the problem, as you grow older, things change. I can no longer, you know, I order 2 beers and I'm going to the bathroom 5 or 6 times after drinking them. And if you notice, half of that's gone, and I'm a little worried now. And there's other problems too. You people have dirty minds. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sleeping. I go to bed at 10 o'clock and wake up around 1 a.m. Actually, I'm lying. I go to bed about 8:30, 8 o'clock, you know, just because I need my rest. Well, I ended up waking up at, 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, what do you do at 1 o'clock in the morning when you wake up? Well, you watch TV and info commercials. Oh, I love info commercials. Do you know what a Flowbee is? Yeah, I ordered a Flowbee. Now, my dog is about that tall. She saw me take that thing out of there because I was going to trim her hair. That dog ran out of and jumped the fence that was 6 foot tall. Yeah, but it was a good idea, and I tried using it on my wife, but she became upset with me. And then you're saying, well, what else have you ordered? I ordered a Dysomatic. You know what a Dysomatic does? You put it on the table. What you do is get vegetables, you throw them in there, then you start pounding the thing. Boom, 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 boom. And the problem is that, first of all, you'd have to have a hammer to hit the damn thing to make it go through it. But, oh, it was a great idea. Then there's other things I was tempted to try. Also, one of the things I mentioned is that they had this thing that enlarged the screen on your TV. It only cost $57, and you could send it back if you could find the address. Well, I ordered one of those because it enlarged the screen. I also took a memory course that I forgot to use. You can order music CDs. Oh, I love music. I ordered music from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I didn't even like the music then, but nevertheless, I got CDs. And who can forget the most important thing you see on TV, on info commercials? Help! I've fallen. I can't get up. I do that every day. But nevertheless, I always think it's a great idea. Oh, and nice thing about info commercials, they'll allow you to pay off whatever you buy. They have a very generous period. I use my credit card, and what they'll do is allow you up to 7 to 10 years to pay for everything you order. And right now, I'm on my 2nd year, and I'm broke. Yes, my friends, growing old isn't for wimps. I now hurt in places that I didn't even know I had those places. And I really enjoy your little insensitive remarks. Hey, you're taking too much time in the line, Grandpa. Or next thing I hear all the time is, especially when I'm asking somebody, I'll say, when I'm talking to somebody who's working behind a counter, where's the bathroom at? How do you get there? People really become incensed, and they don't like that because they're always in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry anymore. And then, what really irritated me, I had a cop follow me home from this place. The cop became so bored. He was a motorcycle cop. Hits me with his horn so he could go by me. I'm driving almost the speed limit, well, maybe 10, 15 miles below. But there's a reason for that. I can't always see where I'm going. It's my sincere desire, and it's my hope, that all of you will become old and experience the joy I now have. And remember my speech tonight, and hopefully you'll hurt places you never hurt before. Mr. Toastmaster.
Okay, evaluating Tom Maroney is Mark Goodman. Mark Goodman, would you like to come up and offer us your evaluation of Tom's speech tonight?
Be nice to
All right.
Tom.
I'd like some donations for the poor.
Pay for Tom's meal.
Buy
Poor
a new
old
set of
man.
hearing aids for an old crusty McCutcheon. Donations for the poor. Yeah. Any more, please? Sorry, old boy, look. I need to raise a nickel.
All right. Okay. All right.
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, it is very sad when people get old. You know, we have to feel for them.
Objection.
Hey, I'm getting up there in years myself. But I spoke to Andrea just before I came out here this evening, and she's tired of tripping over Ben Gay, Vicks Vapor, adult Depends, WD-40, Tylenol, and any other form of medication that keeps an old geezer going. It's sad. You know, Tom has been in I'll Drink to That for 40 years, almost next August. We have to give him some leeway. We were going to have a signer for the hard of hearing. They couldn't come here this evening, unfortunately, so you're stuck with me. There was going to be a white stick instead of this mauve offering that you almost killed yourself with. I thought this was a modern day pool cue. Apparently I was wrong. It is sad when people do get old. I mean, Tom can't even run for the bus now, even though it stops right outside his front door every day. I don't know what's going to happen with that. As for driving, if you've ever driven with Tom, he's always pressing the CD player or the music thing or looking at the little screen, but he's not actually focused on driving from point A to point B. I can understand why the police officer followed him home. I really think the officer was looking for a date, but that's a whole other story. We won't go there. Tom's presentation this evening was excellent. He had us laughing. We could associate with the things that older people are experiencing today in more ways than one. Going deaf is no fun. Having problems with arthritis and other issues such as knee issues, hip issues, ankle issues, you know, the fact that he has to call in some help just to tie his shoelaces every morning. It's cutting into his long-term care program, which is now starting to dwindle, and his wife's getting fed up of having to get down on the floor to do it. There's ways around that. It was funny. It was humorous. You all laughed. You can all associate with what Tom is experiencing. Not just Tom. All people that over the age of 40 are now, you know, life expectancy is getting less and less. For Tom, we will provide a wheelchair ramp if he has to come to the meetings. We can get RTC to pick him up at his front door and drop him off here and then pick him up on the way back. It costs $4. I think the club can afford that. And as for the TV, well, maybe you should buy one of those big computer screens and you can have it right up here, and that will solve some of the issues. I would consider buying 60/40 glasses, something like that. That'll help you, magnifying glass. Bob Hensey could set something up, you know, he's a wizard of electronics. All these things can be resolved, sir. The hair issue, well, I don't know, you know, unless you want those sewn things that these gals wear, where you can cover up. I mean, you can. I'm surprised you haven't bought that spray.
I did.
Well, you know, it's supposed to cover up the bald patch. I saw the thing. I don't have a TV anymore. I haven't had a television for 10 years, but I've seen that thing where he sprays it on. The chopper, I could have given you one. You didn't have to pay 2 easy payments in 1995, and you get a third one if you pay the shipping and handling. I could have given you one of those. I've got one sitting in a box. It's brand new, never used it. In fact, this week I got one of those bullets. That's also been sitting in a box. And I have a toaster and an oven. So and they all come with instructions, which I know you don't read because my last time I was at your house, it was a drawer full of them. We feel your pain. You accomplished all your objectives this evening, which was to make us laugh, which was to make us feel sorry for you in your predicament. We hope that things do get better. And if for any reason you need a seeing eye dog, the Kiwanis and the Lions will get together and get you one. You'll just have to train it yourself because they don't offer that in the manual. But thank you. You reached your accomplishment. I doubt if you're going to get a free drink here this evening. And as for getting food, you're plumb out of luck. But congratulations on a very funny speech, timely, and I think we all enjoyed it. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator. Sorry that you turned another year, but all's well that ends well.
Thank you very much, Mark. All right, big round of applause, Mark. Great evaluation.